Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, no boys, no girls. You know what this is. You know what it could be. You know what it ain't. But most importantly, you know what we're here to do. You know what we can't. Uh, this is your boy, Big Tone. I'm here, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is O'Rilla Radio. O'Rilla Radio. We in full effect. You know, it's Sunday. And we doing what we doing, a little special uh early edition. Yeah, I have to say it. It's a special early edition. And I'm just doing what it do. It's Father's Day and it's also Juneteenth. Father's Day and it's also Juneteenth. And I figured I may come on the scene to say what's up to everybody, give a big shout out to the people. You know what I'm saying? Let the people know that we are here, we are live, and we direct. And just wanted to come on, man. It's been a minute, since I connected with the people and gave the people what they wanted. Let the people see, big tone in the place to be. You know what I mean? So this is what it is, man. It is Juneteenth, Freedom Day, and it is Father's Day. So that is a lot to take in. That is a lot to take in. So I just want to unpack that and talk about that for a minute. So these are two subjects we talking about today. We talking about Juneteenth, Freedom Day, and we talking about Happy Father's Day. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a male and you got kids out there, do you take care of your kids? That's number one. Do you take care of your kids? Do your kids know you? Are you a part of your kids' life? What that looks like? What does that look like? Do you just pick them up on the weekends? Do you make an impact? What does that look like? First and foremost, I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the men out there who are not flyby men in their life, who does the most to make sure their kids are well taken care of. That's physically, emotionally, mentally, you do the most, and you are celebrated. I made a hashtag Father's Day Juneteenth today because I'm torn, and I didn't really think about this until I happened to be riding in my vehicle yesterday, and I happened to see that this day, this government sanctioned day, Juneteenth, will be sharing a holiday with a holiday that don't get a lot of credit, which is Father's Day. So my big thing is that a conspiracy? Is it a conspiracy that fathers continue to get the short end of the stick? Is it a conspiracy that fathers continue to share their dinner plate? You know what I'm saying? We should get the big, big piece of steak. You know what I'm saying? But we got to share our piece of steak with Juneteenth. Now, mind you, it could be considered a little bit selfish when you go, hey, look, brother, you wanted reparations. We didn't give you reparations. So we're going to acknowledge the day that you were supposed to be free, but nobody knew you was free then. But we're going to make that acknowledgement, which is Juneteenth, the Freedom Day. Am I being greedy as a man for wanting Father's Day all to it individual self? I want that holiday to expand. I want to be appreciated. What I mean by appreciated, I want, and when I speak as in I'm speaking in retrospect to every man, black, white. Matter of fact, let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's take this down right here. You know what I mean? Let's get to something. Something so the people can relate to. Let's relate to it. I just want to point out when you say um, when you say Father's Day, I don't want to make that into a black day. I want to make that for all men, right? All men. Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's just make it about all men. Happy Father's Day to all men, not just African Americans, but to all fathers. If you out there, you're doing everything you need to do, you being all you could be, your kids know you. Whether you got one or you got 27, they all know you. If you got, first of all, if you got 27 kids out here, you are definitely not getting money out in these streets. You are on welfare and you are not doing the things you need to do. And that can be questionable how much time you spend with these kids and you just sperm donor. But regardless of what that is, I just want to make a point to extend my happy Father's Day to the men out there who do what they do. Now, as I was saying, I feel like when it comes to other holidays, they get their just due, and one in particular that always get their just due would be Mother's Day. Mother's Day, hands down. I was checking out a thread earlier today from some fellas I know. They get the fine dining treatment, and we get the Swansons, the banquets, the big man dinner. That's typically with the Salisbury steak, the corn. They mix it up too. They even got the brownies in there. So we get that. We get the microwavables. While they get the fine dinings, the filet mignon. You know what I mean? All those expensive entrees. That's $20 a pop. Now, am I complaining? Am I on here like running a pity party for men? No, I just feel like when it comes to certain things, we get the blunt end of the stick. And would that ever change? I can't say it will. But this is the O'Rilla Radio Show, and this is Big Tone, and I just wanted to point out that I had some issues about it. Now, did I get any acknowledgement today? Hell yeah, I got acknowledgement. I should have got acknowledgement. Just like if I was a mom, I should have got that acknowledgement if I was a female. Because I do everything I need to do, have to do, supposed to do. When it comes to my lady, when it comes to these kids, I do the things that you're supposed to do as a man. And that's all you can ask for. So, what does that look like? What does that look like for men out in these streets who do things the right way? Do we really get saluted? I think no. I think we salute each other, but I think also the men who don't do things the way they should, they get an easy pass. They get a road to glory. Yeah, you may get hit with child support, but at the end of the day, the one that sticks around normally is the one that gets the end of the stick. They get the blunt of the pain. You know what I mean? And that's another thing too. Shout out to stepdads. Stepdads always get a bad rap too. You know what I mean? So if you're a stepdad out there making an impact, stepping in and stepping up, I salute you, my brothers. And we living in an inclusive world. But I'm not going to acknowledge and inclusive women when it comes to Father's Day because I believe, on Mother's Day, that should be included for mothers too. But so Father's Day is strictly for the fathers out there, and I got the chat open. If you want to talk, let's I'm gonna hit you with this one. Boom. Is there anything that you feel like you learned from your dad to now? So is there anything that you think you learned from your dad to now? Whether he was a deadbeat or he was in your life, what's some of the things that you have learned? And we here, we doing what we do. This is O'Rilla Radio, Father's Day, Juneteenth edition. We doing, and it's only combined because of the fact that Father's Day and Juneteenth is on the same day, which is odd to me. I think you should have its own brand of day. You know, um, what's in the news today? Things in the news. It's a lot of new things that's going on. One of the things I want to talk about. I want to talk about this new music from Drake. Drake got this new album out. It's called whatever, anyway, whatever, or however, or what is it? What is it? Let me see. Let me see what's going on. It is called honestly, never mind. So my take on this is honestly, never mind from Drake is categorized as dance. And anybody who listened to Drake know Drake will get in a sing song flurry if you allow him to. If you give him the moment, he will break down in a sing song flurry. So with that being said, do I like it? I have to say that, it reminds me of that one particular song he got. What is it called? Passion Fruit. It reminds me of Passion Fruit. A lot of it is got that that kind of vibe to it where you just wanna, baby, I like your style. Yeah, you just want to do that. And what I believe what he has done something that's smart. Like I know he couldn't compete with Kendrick Lamar's album. So what he decided to do, he decided to wait, give it a month or so, and Beyonce should be coming out with some of her stuff. So let me drop my album before Beyonce get in the mix. Now once Beyonce get in the mix, it's gonna be over for him. So he did it smart to push out his album right now. Let the people see it. Let the people know what's going on. Hey, let's Drake. This new music from Drake. And I have to say, it's a good CD, good album to stream for the summer. You know what I mean? We're going into the summer, hot days, and the DJ's playing in the hot nights. And what you want to do, you want to get on the floor and you want to move your body. So this right here is an album that could do that. You know what I'm saying? So I hear this is going to be in the what was the latex gala or the latex ball or something like that. And his music is going to be featured there. So he doing what he got to do. He this is marketing at his greatest potential right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he knew his wave. He knew he couldn't get in there with Kendrick. Kendrick was gonna eat him up, and he found his wave and he found his move, and I think that was a good thing for him, man. So, shout out to Drizzy Drake. Drake in a place to be doing things the way it should be. Um, ladies and gentlemen, I I have to say that today has been a wonderful day, in the eyes of being a black man. And I mean that in the sense of Juneteenth Freedom Day and the Father's Day bit. Let's just say with Juneteenth, a lot of people don't understand what that means. A lot of people don't associate that with what that can represent for the future. A lot of people don't get, like, if you you start rebranding what America is, right? What America is and what America has done. This is becoming a an evolving situation where people are looking at, okay, if we're acknowledging the fact that Christopher Columbus didn't actually discover America, we acknowledge that. Will that get taken off the books as a holiday? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't think so too, because Italians, from what I understand, they celebrate Christopher Columbus and his journey to the Americas. So that could be something. But Juneteenth, that raises the question of so many holidays to celebrate, or so many issues that concern African Americans, because of the fact that we we as African Americans, we don't necessarily have an outlet. Like, we're looking for reparations, we don't get that. We haven't gotten that. And I'd say under any legislation will we get that. So I can't believe that would necessarily take place. But what I do acknowledge is the fact that with the government opening the doors to Juneteenth as a holiday, who knows what may be on the lookout? You know what I mean? Who knows what may be cross the mountaintop? So that's something to think about. Something to think about. Um, I want to give a big shout out to all the guys over at Mask Off this Friday. It was me and the young boy, and we did our thing. We did our thing because two other guys is out. So we had some guests. We had some guests from the One Mic Comedy Crew, including Malachi, the young boy Malachi. We had them on, and they came on and they talked, and they talked about how they got into comedy, and it was very, very eventful, very eventful, very eventful. So once again, my question is, you know, I'm gonna bring it back to my question. My question is, have you learned the things you needed to learn from your father? Have you learned the things you need to learn from your father? Whether he was there or whether he wasn't there. What's some of the things that you learned? I myself, I have to say, I learned that not being visible creates anger. Not being present creates anger. So that's something I have always struggled with as a father, and I myself, I have two biological kids, a girl and a boy. And I moved to Philadelphia with my son, and my daughter stays in Philadelphia with my ex. And I have to say, uh, you see the effects when one isn't around as much as you would want them to be around, because they display not necessarily animosity, but they display a sense of abandonment, and I feel that. So those are issues that we've always tried to work through. Those are issues that my daughter and I, we continue to work through. And as a father, you tackle those things. And when you don't address those things, they go untapped, and it creates a lot of animosity, a lot of discord, and a lot of uncomfortable situations. So, as a father, I always try to learn from great examples. And great examples in my life. I've always had men that have stepped up and contributed to being an influential part in my life. So, I just want to give a shout out to those men that has played those critical critical figures in my life at crucial times that I needed those crucial moments of being influenced. So that's what that is. Um, what else have I learned as a father? Like I keep saying, mine wasn't around. I believe mine is a narcissist. Other than the fact that he's an asshole, he stays in the same city, and he this guy's produced 6 kids, and you know, I'm one of the oldest. My oldest sister is the oldest out of us. And when it comes to how you just wonder like what happened and what you're doing and how you allowed this to get to this point. There's never no answers with them. So I can't I made a vow in my life as a young man. If I had kids, I would never ever put my kids through the same BS that he took us through. Like even today, he has like these warped relationships, and it's weird. Like he would always be like, "Yeah, I love you, I love you, I love you," and I would be like, "Well, who do you love and what do you love? Because you don't really know me. How can you say that? How can you say I don't know you? Easy, you don't know me." you know, and thinking about from his perspective, I guess he knew what I was as a baby. What I mean? He changed my diapers and he did all that, but he didn't know who I was, who I evolved to be. And then I realized the man I evolved to be, he didn't necessarily agree with it because he felt like, you know, I asked him too many questions, and that was just me. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Did I learn to gain any form of respect for him? I have to say that when I was coming up, I had this ideology that he was this great figure, and it was all mythical. It was like a superhero I created in my mind, or who I thought he was, who I heard he had become, and who I would be because people spoke of him with such found respect, but I didn't know that person. And it's weird when you see pictures of someone that they say you resemble and you find out, well, I want to know more about this person, and we are completely different on every every aspect of life. We are completely different, and that's okay. You start to realize who you are as a man. What will you allow? You know, what would you do? You know, and you start realizing how the things that people do, things people say, how they affect you and how you're affected by that individual not even being a part of your life. And we giving real talk today. This is Big Tone, and I'm talking Father's Day, Juneteenth, and I'm giving a little background about myself and and how my life was and how things were going on, and I come from a family of 3 siblings. I'm the middle child. So at one point I was the baby, I was the baby boy. And my older sister, for a long time, was me and my older sister. My mom, she was doing her best trying to make it, trying to figure it out, working 2 to 3 jobs, keep a head, keep a roof over our head. And I would always question, where the fuck is my dad? Like, what is up? You know what I mean? Because, you know, and you get one perspective. Like when you hear from your mom, you hear her perspective. And, when you listen to women, it always come from a position of, well, I've always done this by myself. Your dad didn't do shit. Your dad ain't shit. Nothing like that. And my mom, she never really did none of that. It was more so you saw it. You saw he was not a figure at all. I didn't get to know this guy until I say about till I was like 10 or 11. And it's funny how I ended up meeting him because I started becoming rebellious in my mom's house. I started becoming that kid that was always into something, always getting in trouble in school, always upset and angry. And I didn't even know why I was angry. I think I was pissed off. I was always around these girls and they was pissing me off. Every time my mom would go somewhere, it'd be her and my sister. And I'm like, well, where the fuck my dad at? You know what I mean? We'll go to Kmart. They always in the bra section. And you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not about to stand right here. And my mom had this thing where if I didn't do what she said, she would try to embarrass me out of public. So it was times where, we'd be in Kmart and she say, don't go nowhere. And I go over to the toys and she'll call my name over the PA. And, her and my sister, they got popcorn and slushies and my stupid butt coming from the toy area with nothing, you know what I mean? Mad, but hard headed, and I just became more and more and more defiant, more hard headed, as she would say, more ornery, more angry. That anger. I couldn't understand where it was coming from. You know what I mean? But I started realizing I'm mad because this nigga is not a part of what's going on with myself. So I had to take a back seat. And my mom, she introduced me to him, and I discovered that I was nothing like this guy. You know what I mean? So, today is the day, man. We talking fathers, and in my case, mine wasn't nowhere around. Mine didn't play an intricate part in my life. And my question is, what what are some of the qualities that you've learned from your father? Whether he was there, it wasn't there, and uh, I got one of the Orillas on tap. So let me go ahead and put him in. What's going on with you, my brother? Hey, how you doing? Hey, Train, you there? Can you hear me, A Train?
What's up? I'm here. What's
What's
up?
going on
It's
with
kind of
you?
breaking up, so sorry.
I
Came
don't
out the
know what's
shop.
going on, my brother. Good to see you. Happy Father's Day.
Hold on.
What?
I'm buffer.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna keep talking till he gets this situation together. It seems like he fading black, but yeah, man. We this is what we talking about today. We talking about fathers, an intricate part in your life, intricate part in your development, intricate part in systematically you becoming a man. You know what I mean? So, those are the things, man, that I had to figure out on my own. I had to figure out what was going on with me, and I had to learn. I had moments where I met my father, and it even got to a point where my mom, she didn't know what to do with me at one point, so she sent my older sister and myself for him over to his house for us to stay there for a summer. And you know, I found out he was in the military at one point. I also found out that one of the issues that he had coming back from the military was he became a woman beater. And one of the things that my mom shared with us, and he also shared with us, was that he used to physically abuse my mom. And she gives a story about how we were, not we, but I myself, I was in her stomach and he kicked her down a flight of stairs. And That's so crazy to hear that you wouldn't even be seeing your boy here today if or I would have had situations and complications with me if my mom didn't do the things to protect me from him and the things that he had going on with himself. So I don't know if a lot of his issues were before the military or post military or whatever the case may be, but he came back out in the world and him and my mom got together and they had my sister first and then they had me and then after that he ended up having three more kids and then he wasn't that great of a dude, you know what I mean? And I've heard from them and we're really not that close. We try every year to try to make a reunion or sorts, but we're really not that close. But I love them, and I remember, connecting with them on a level of love. But when it don't come together, things don't necessarily work out the way you expect them to work out because there's no adults pushing togetherness. If you listen to Mask Off podcast or if you listen to Big Tone Talk, I'm always talking about putting families first. And yeah, we as adults, we make these mistakes on trying to make you forget what happened. Yeah, that was then. This ain't what's going on now. Yeah, I was with her. I'm not with her. So everything with her should go out the door. And one of the things I had to learn as a man growing up that's not the way people work. Like I went through a big issue trying to combine families within my household, from my ex to my current to the families that we have, based on the fact that I wanted to exclude her but include my kids. There's no way you can do it because it shows a lack of maturity by doing that. So, it's still some barriers and some borders there, but we try to figure it out as much as we can. We try to be mature uh, adults about situations to where, you know, we recognize that kids, one of the main things they do, they they pay attention to what you're doing, you know what I mean, and how you leading. And if you're leading them in a direction in which it goes south, they don't want to be a part of it. So yeah, I've learned a lot from other people, not necessarily my father. My father has taught me all the things that I shouldn't do to be a father, to be a man, you know what I mean? And one of the big things too I learned about putting people's feelings in perspective. And what I mean by that is sometimes you can put somebody else's feelings first and then you lose who you are. But I learned from him how to be compromising and understanding to the fact that, it's not just me on this planet. And unfortunately, old as he is, he still don't grasp that or get that. So I'm gonna bring one of my homies back on, man. This is one of my O'Rilla partners. You know what I mean? I love him dearly. And he's gonna come through and we're gonna chop it up a little bit, man. We talking about the topic today is, it's Father's Day, Juneteenth, but we also talking about what have you learned from your father, positive and negative, that made you be the father you are today. So back on the stream is my man O'Rilla Radio Show's A Train. O'Rilla, stand up. A Train, you there, baby?
O'Rilla, stand up. I'm here, man. What's going down?
What's up with you, my brother? How you feeling?
Man, out here working on Father's Day. Working on Father's Day. The grind
Yeah,
don't stop.
I was. I was talking about that at the top of the show, man, how we don't get no justice, man. We don't get no justice. We get Swanson and Banquet while they get filet mignon when it comes to Mother's Day, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna leave him cap, man. I get taken care of on Father's Day, but I know there's an underlining. Hey, there's still some things that got to get done.
Yeah, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like I got taken care of early today, but I know. Hey, look.
Yeah, that's it. I ain't even gotta say nothing.
You don't even gotta say nothing. It's just what it is.
Yep. So that's what's up, man. But Father's Day is a special day because I always believe I grew up with my father.
That's so dope.
Who gave me great examples to be the man that I am today. You know what I mean? And the first example is to love the queen and put your queen on the pedestal. You know what I mean? So we make Mother's Day every day in my household.
That's beautiful.
So, you know what I mean? So I learned how he treated my moms, and that's how I learned how to treat my wife. So, but also he taught me the appreciation of hard work. You know what I mean? And commitment. You know what I mean? And never being afraid of a good day's work. So, so that's kind of some things I rub off on my son as he's aspiring to be great and to be a great representation of himself. He's also representing the family, me. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. It's a lot to be proud and appreciated for because I know I wouldn't be the man I am without my pops. So
that's totally great, man. That is wonderful. I was telling the listeners the flip side to not having a parent there and the things that I learned without him being there, and all the things that I've actually done as a father, I've learned from other avenues other than just him. And
yep.
hard work, dedication, and all those factors that you mentioned, man. And when you don't have that contributing factor in your life that you consider this is yours, you seek them out from other people, and you know, some people see them from negative points,
Yes.
but coming from a guy who has siblings, right, who had a father in his house, everything don't work out the way it's supposed to be sometimes, do it? You know what I mean?
Nope. Nope. It don't. I got 3 brothers, 4 sisters. You know what I mean? And our paths all look different, and we got the same message. You know what I mean? We got the same direction and tutelage, and so it don't always work out the same. You know what I mean? Because I always believe in that word choices. And we all, no matter what upbringing you have, good, bad, or indifferent, you as the individual have choices at some point that you need to make in what direction you want to go. And that's sometimes easier said than not, but I still believe in that. But definitely, if you got positive people around your house, around you, positive people telling you more than not the greatness that you can achieve, and giving you that direction, then most likely you have those better chances doing so. So, in my job that I do every day, I work with kids every day through sports. And like I had one of my players, seniors graduating, who didn't have his father around as much. Tell me, it's like, hey man, you was like a father I didn't have. You know what I mean? And just that right there is like, I feel good that, that I can help a young man stay on the right path and give him the confidence that he needs to achieve the goals he has set out in front of him. So like you said, the people that you leaned on when you didn't have a father figure, I'm sure you can go back to them and be very thankful for helping you get through some of those struggles and wade some of those waters that when it got choppy, you had somebody to lean on, when you need it.
Definitely. So my question, I ain't gonna hold you on too long, my brother. I see you out, you're doing things, you're getting things done. My question to you though is, how do you feel about this Juneteenth thing, man? How do you feel about sharing Juneteenth with Father's Day? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, Juneteenth is special. Something like, it's like, well, finally, we got some recognition on something, on some struggles that we've had to go through. But when you say freedom, I mean, the question is, are we really free?
How about it? Let's really talk about it.
Like, so it's like, okay, let's put a stamp on this day. All right, we're giving you a day to show you that, we're with you. We recognize the struggles but it's just a day. It's a day on the calendar. You know what I mean? So, but let's celebrate. Give us a moment to, when a kid, like, what is Juneteenth, man? It gives you an opportunity to talk about it. And to educate. So I can embrace it. But we're not gonna do a whole bunch of cartwheels and say finally we've made an inroad somewhere. You know what I mean?
It's a lot more work than needs to take place.
That's kind of where I am. But it's just I'm about action, Tone. I'm about action. So if we could say, okay, there's a step in the right direction where there's recognition, there's conversations being made about our culture, then let's embrace that, but let's not stop there, is what I'm saying. So let's not sit down and kick our feet up and be comfortable with a day on the calendar. So that's how I approached it and looked at it. To me, it's just, again, it's bigger than a day.
I dig that. And one of the major things at the top of the show I was talking about how Father's Day should not be on a day where Juneteenth or any other day should be included. It should be separate. Mother's Day is separate. Halloween is separate. Christmas is separate. Father's Day, we've been separate for some time, and all of a sudden they snuck Juneteenth in there. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. That means it opens the door for my day to not be about my day. Like, let's. I'm gonna get personal. You want to get personal for a second, A-Train? So I'm gonna get personal. One of the greatest days on the year calendar is April 10th, right? That's the day the Lord blessed everybody with my presence. April 10th. Guess what day that is all of a sudden? Hallmark decided to do. They made that Siblings Day. How the hell I'm sharing a day with my siblings? No, I'm not doing it. I feel the same way about this Juneteenth and this Father's Day bit. No, it should not be shared. I have honored that. I'm a father. I'm happy to be a father.
Look at this. Well, look at this, Tom. What's Juneteenth represent?
Juneteenth,
power.
It's supposed to represent empowerment. It's supposed to represent
power.
Power, right?
consistency, like staying the course. You know what I mean? Belief. I ain't accepting this no matter what you tell me. I know what's right. Like, and I'm going to strive to make it. I'm going to strive for my rights. Right? So, man, like, fathers. I mean, it kind of goes in line a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? As a man, look, man, listen, you get shrimp and lobster on Mother's Day. Hey, you might get a fried bologna sandwich, but you're going to make the best out of that fried bologna sandwich. You know what I mean? Hey, it's Father's Day. Throw me some mayo on that bad boy. Just, hey, make it great, man. Hey, Juneteenth is a great time. Like, I don't be mad that it's on the same day as Father's Day, because there's some correlation there to it.
You know, it only took one guy for me to look at it from a different perspective, and I knew it would have been you. That I've been looking at it from a different point of view. That's why I had to combine them today. Juneteenth, Freedom Day, Happy Father's Day, because if it couldn't have been nobody, it could only been you, my brother. That would make me look at it from a different perspective and go, you know what, Big Tone? You're being a nut right now. You know what I mean? Stop being a nut.
You're a nut now, Big Tone.
You're being a nut. Take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
That's all right. That's all right. We're just trying to balance out the nuttiness. It's all good.
I dig it.
Happy Father's Day to everybody, man. Appreciate you.
No doubt. I love you dearly, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You know what we do when we stand up. And I get at you in a moment. No doubt. I'll holler at you. Peace.
All right, man. Peace.
So that's my man, Big A Train, in the building doing what it do. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, if it was nobody, it would have been him to make me see it from a different perspective, because I'm looking at it, and I've been looking at it the entire show like it was a propaganda / situation hating on who? Fathers. Hey, different perspective, man. Different perspective, and that's what we needed, man. I'm not gonna hold y'all long. You know, we had a special guest pop in, man. That's what's up, man. Big Artie. Shout out to all the O'Rillas. Shout out to all the fathers. You know what I'm saying? Big Pops, Big Kurt. You know what I mean? Y'all know what y'all do when y'all do. Big Shondell. You know what I mean? Y'all know what y'all do. O'Rillas, Tomar, Reggie, Gene, Artie. You know what I'm saying? Billy. You know what I mean? Edith. You know what time it is. Carl. Twin. Big fathers doing big things, man. Y'all know what to do on this episode of O'Rilla Radio. This is Father's Day, Juneteenth episode, man. Take care of yourself and each other. I'm out. Peace.